much as I can be.
You might as well leave this part in the video. Oh, this is such a fucking awful video to shoot because
we suck.
Like, we suck. We come off an awful game.
And we're playing the Bills.
I would have been a little more excited if they did not move it to Detroit.
Yeah.
7 feet of snow. That was the miracle needed for the Browns to beat the Bills.
Yeah. I guess the only thing I've heard now is that, like, to travel to Detroit is pretty difficult for them right now. Because, like, the airports are kind of closed.
They can't even get, like, there's a travel ban in Buffalo.
Yeah, so I don't know how the team's gonna make it to Detroit.
They're saying that there's some players that might not make it to the game at all.
I don't know. This is such a weird game. Hopefully one of those players are Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Von Miller.
Yeah, all three of them could stay back. Dude, this is rough because the team's so good. Even though Josh Allen's made a ton of mistakes, also he leads the NFL in interceptions.
Turnovers in general.
Yeah.
He's also playing with a bad elbow.
Yeah. True.
What else did I see? They're also on a 2-game losing streak.
Wait.
They lost to the Jets and they lost to the Vikings.
Oh, wow.
And a stunner.
Yeah. Okay.
But I guess I'll say a quick minute about last week's game.
And this will be a quick minute, let me tell you. Because I don't want you to think about it.
I think I've put all of my anger, like, it's gone already, but, like, it's just...
You know, I feel how I felt back in, like, when we were kids. And like, yeah, Browns suck. What do you want to do about it? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even faze me. It's like...
It's just such a head-scratcher to me because I went back and watched the game a little bit. Like, I did it to myself. And they came out really hot.
Yeah.
You know,
and that was good.
It always seemed like they, defensively, they would put Miami on a 3rd and 8 or something, and they would give it up. Probably giving up. They were giving up too much cushion. They were giving them everything underneath, and there's too much speed to be doing that.
Man, that run defense. Holy shit.
Ugh.
That is unbelievable. You let Jeff Wilson...
I had a feeling that was going to happen. Because it always seems like whenever we play Raheem Mostert, he torches us.
Dude, they average like 8.5, 8.7 yards a carry.
It was just...
It was abysmal. Defense, I honestly think after this season... I think with the defense, everyone on the rookie contracts, and Myles Garrett and Denzel, everyone else, get out of here. We're restarting.
It's gonna get blown up again.
It needs to. It needs to.
It's
bad.
And plus, you know, the obvious one, the coordinator. But
yeah.
But you know what though? It was just like it. You take away one play in the first half. One play, and it might have changed the dynamic of the game. Was on the second drive for the Browns. They made a lot of big plays to get down the field. They went for it on 4th and 1, got it. Very next play on the 25-yard line of Miami. One of the most rarest things for the Browns, a Nick Chubb fumble.
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah,
they were on their way in.
Yeah. But it's not even the offense's fault though. I mean, it's straight up defense. Defense has lost us game after game after game this year, and puts us in the hole. Offense, we're a backup quarterback that we have. Nick Chubb's playing his ass off. Our receivers look great. Like GPJ has been nothing.
6 games in a row with 50+ yards.
Yeah, I mean he looks great. Cooper looks great.
Yeah.
Like Bell looks solid. You know, a lot of these guys look good. It's the defense. They just put them in the hole, and then it's an offense that can't score fast. So once you're in that deficit, you can't. It's hard to climb out. So I don't know. I mean, it's the defense. The offense looks good, not great, but they look good. They look good enough to win you games. But this defense is so atrocious, man. Like
idiots.
I don't know. And coming in to this Buffalo week, it's a high-powered offense, man.
Look,
like you got to cover Gabriel Davis. You got to cover Stephon Diggs. You're facing Josh Allen in a dome now. In ideal conditions. And
the crazy thing is this. Just imagine they went from practicing. I'm not trying to make an excuse for them because that was just awful. But they went from practicing. They had a whole bye week, which they should have an advantage there. But they went from practicing in 30-degree weather for at least 2 weeks and hopped right into a 100-degree kind of weather game where you're already at a disadvantage when you are playing in the heat, but in that stadium, which is something we forgot to mention, Rob, about that last week's game, because it happens to the best of teams. Tom Brady said it's one of the hardest places to win a game because of the weather.
Yeah, and the sideline
the one sideline's covering the one.
It was like 100+ degrees.
We fumbled the bag against the Dolphins.
The Heat, as we were talking about the Heat.
The Heat sucks. The Miami Heat. They suck.
The team and the weather.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I mean you're just not going to get around it. It's obviously part of the climate. It's a dome, but depending on how it falls, it happens like that. But I think getting into this week, last week was just a mess on all fronts, and I just feel like that's the story of the season. But looking forward to this week right now. Obviously, the game was moved to Detroit, which is in a dome. There's been pictures that just came out recently of Buffalo, and the stadium is under like 4 feet of snow right now. So it was a good move by the NFL to move it. It would have been incredible to go and watch that game though.
Oh my god!
I would have loved it, but
missed opportunity.
Yeah, but it's it's probably a good thing that because if it keeps snowing, it's looking at 7 feet of snow, man. Like, there's just no way you can play football in that. But so it's in a dome now, which obviously ideal conditions with a not so ideal turf field that is at Ford Field. From what I've heard, it's pretty terrible. But yes, they're playing indoors. The Browns are with an absolutely awful defense are playing one of the league's best offenses. So we'll see what happens. I don't have a great outlook on this week. But who can, honestly? The offense has been playing solid, defense has been playing awful, and when you're going against one of the league's best offenses and one of the league's best defenses, I can easily see their defense smothering our offense not getting too much done.
Well, they're missing a lot of big names.
Javarius White is not playing.
Well, he hasn't even played at all this year.
Well, yeah.
Terrell Edmonds. And then, they're missing somebody else. They just announced it this morning, but I think it's one of their defensive ends, so maybe a little help, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think it makes a difference.
They have such a deep roster on defense where even those guys, it hurts them, but not terribly. So, yeah, I could see this game playing out one way where we just can't get enough done on offense because the defense is too good. Where where you have a decent game, but nothing amazing, and that offense that the Bills have just absolutely just destroys our defense, and that's kind of the route that I think is going to happen, man.
Yeah.
Say Josh Allen throws a pick or two, I don't think it matters.
How do you not start Josh Allen in this game?
Oh, I mean, Josh Allen's playing, absolutely. Like,
You playing Devin Singletary this week?
I am. Of course, dude. Like, literally any time a team goes against the Browns, I don't care who it is, I'm starting those. Like, Raheem Mostert is typically on my bench, and I was like, you know what?
He's getting a start.
He's getting a start, yeah. So, I got Singletary, and he is absolutely starting.
Man.
So, yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about this game, guys. It's the Bills versus a very crappy Browns at this time. Even though the offense might be solid, but defense is not. And this offense of the Bills are just too damn good. So, the only thing I could see happening with this offense now is
forcing turnover somehow.
I mean, if our secondary can hold up. I mean, Singletary isn't the best back, but I mean, obviously that doesn't really matter with this team.
They also got Marlon Mack, who is a big playmaker out of the backfield. So that's still to be.
Or they got Marlon Mack or Hines.
Oh, Nyheim Hines. My bad.
Hines. Yeah.
Well, still.
And Cook.
Yeah.
And Cook.
Well, he hasn't done anything yet.
No, but he's good. He's good for dump passes, though. He's been pretty solid. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. I mean, what more can we say of this week? Honestly, I mean, it's what it's gonna be, and
go out there and try your best. Go try to win a game.
Yeah.
Anything can happen any given Sunday.
It's football, man.
It's football. I mean, the Vikings have lost. I mean, the Vikings went in that game 7-1, and that they were still the underdogs.
Yeah.
And you look at their record, like, how the hell are they 7-1? In fact, you want to talk about any given Sunday, or hell, even Monday, if you want to say that. The undefeated Philadelphia Eagles at home got taken out by the bottom of the league, Washington Commanders.
They have a better record than us at this point, though.
So, I mean, that just goes to show you it's...
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. So, I mean, anything's possible. Josh Allen could have one of those days. I mean, I'll say, he's had games that he looks like an absolute generational talent. And then there's some weeks that he just kind of shits the bed, and you're like, okay, that was interesting. I've seen at least 4 or 5 games of him doing
Hopefully
that.
This is the week that the Browns defense shows up again, like they did in Cincinnati.
Yeah, they're going to be very sporadic. I'm telling you. Like, you're going to have some games that you're like, wow. And then there's going to be games that you're like, holy shit. Like, what happened? So
maybe this is the one where they wake up a little bit. Or they bounce back and it's like, yeah, that can't happen again. But
yeah,
we say this every week.
Yeah, I guess, if I was going to say some royal donuts here, literally just play a good game. Don't make mistakes.
You're limited to one mistake this game.
Yeah, cowtail for literally all 52. And the entire coaching staff.
53.
53. Yeah, my bad.
Well, if they got 52 men on the roster, that explains a lot.
Just have one, man. Do something this week. I don't know. The season's probably, it is a wash.
It's a wash, but it's still alive.
I'm still gonna watch every game, and I still want them to win. So, do what you guys can.
You're still gonna watch every game and still get pissed off
every freaking week. But this is just one of those weeks, man. And
this is a hard video to make because it's like I don't think either of us care.
Yeah, point out a weakness of the Bills. Like the only thing I'm really hoping on is someone has a bad week.
Last Sunday to this, if they made it a game last week,
different.
Maybe a little more, feel a little bit better.
They got on a 2-game win streak. Bills are on a 2-game lose streak. Defense shows up again, different story. But right now, man, you don't know what kind of defense you're going to get. And right now, I'm just kind of banking on Josh Allen having a bad game. And that's not a good outlook to really have. But that's the only outlook that you can really have at this point.
We're banking on a one in a generation snowstorm to win this game.
Yeah, I really was. I was.
So, when I saw the weather, I was like, "Oh my God, we might win!"
Yeah, and me and Bill texted each other about that the game that Browns Bills in 2007. That Browns won 8-0. They had people with shovels. So I mean that's kind of what I was hoping for. But hey, man, I guess prediction wise,
what a wonderful game that would have been.
I'm gonna go. This is gonna just hurt to say, but I'm gonna say 31-10 Bills.
This is gonna hurt to say.
Yeah, because I don't want to.
You actually picked against the Browns. Wow.
Yeah,
maybe that's why we lose. You always pick them in the fucking weird ass games.
I do. Browns fan, man. I got to.
Jesus.
31-10 Bills, man.
I don't know how. I'm just gonna say this.
Oof.
But I think it might be a close one. They're favored by 9.5.
That's a huge.
It jumped 7 points from when they moved it to Detroit. So, bear with me. I think that they're missing a couple of key players on their defensive side. Specifically in their front seven. This is a very, very tough defense that's going to show the same front as Miami did, those Bear fronts, like a 5-2 almost, and they're going to try to bring it all. So hopefully when you see it one week, you should be able to take care of it the next week, or at least look better. So if they can look better in the run game, I feel like that's where you have a shot. This is a very, very tough Buffalo defense. They're great on all aspects of their defense, all levels, whatever you want to say. Yeah. That they're pretty damn good. Offensively, it flows through Josh Allen, but with him being a little banged up, I'm not gonna say they're gonna completely take him out of the game. Or, I'm expecting him to have a good game. But instead of running the ball 10, 15 times, because that's where the run game comes from, I see him probably slowing down a little bit this week. And honestly, the Browns need to wrap that up. They can't be given 100 yards on the ground every week. It's
crazy.
Right. And once again, this is definitely the lack of investing in the interior of the defense and the linebacking core. I mean, you could look at the video from after the draft, and I was saying that then. But for this week, it's very, very, very weird. I don't know how you can, what the game plan is against these guys. I mean, you gotta really be aggressive this week. Hell, blitz the shit out of these guys. I think that's what it really was. They weren't bringing any pressure. The defensive line, they couldn't even get off a block. No.
Tua had
days. But it just seemed like every first down they got, it had to be a fantastic play.
Last week?
Yeah, like they had to make some crazy play, like on the sideline, a little toe tap. They got bailed out by these simple plays. I think that this defense is going to play different schematically than they did last week, because you're not worried about. I mean, Stephon Diggs, I would say, is probably better than both of those receivers.
I agree.
It's more of a Stephon, Tyreek kind of, but as an all-around receiver, I think Stephon Diggs is a much better player.
Tyreek's just quick.
He's a hell of a player. Oh my God! I would put in debate that Tyreek's the best receiver in the league. But I mean, we can go on about that.
Justin Jefferson.
I think it's a little bit different because this is a different style of game, where Stephon Diggs is more of a route runner and he's going to find the open spots on the field, and then you got a quarterback that can bully you in the air and on the ground. So I think you have to limit Stephon Diggs in this game. But the kowtow the whole 53 first of all, and kowtow to fucking Joe Woods, please, just have a decent game plan because they had nothing last week. They played prevent defense the whole entire game.
They haven't had anything at all. There's been no adjustments on offense or defense all season. I mean, what is halftime for them? Like, I want to see what they do in halftime. Do they sit around? They talk. They talk about what new show they watch on Netflix because they're not game planning. They're not changing things. They're not looking at things and they're like, hey, let's do this differently.
You're slipping, man.
It's crazy. I don't know. What's your prediction?
All right. I'm gonna call it 27-21 Buffalo.
That's generous. That we would score 21 points. But, hey.
They didn't cover the spread, so that's a win.
Yeah. Well, that's all we got for you guys.
This is a good bet. This is a good bet. If you're watching this, go put money on the Browns this week because the Buffalo Bills are not going to cover the spread.
Yes. I don't know, man. Well, thanks for watching. Go Browns.
Go Browns.
Yeah. Enjoy this Saturday because Sunday might be rough.
The next time you'll see us, happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. See ya. Eat a lot of food.
Happy Turkey Day. Gobble, gobble. Go Lions. beat the Bills.
Yeah, they're playing the Bills. Yeah, there you go.
Is it crazy that the Bills have back-to-back games in Detroit and Detroit doesn't?
Yeah, that's wild.
Okay.